Mujer Latina Today, we're connecting Latinas with a passion. Latinas, they're working to make the difference in the community. Now we have from Los Angeles, California, Roseanna Garcia. Welcome to Mujer Latina Today.
Oh, thank you, Lorena. Thank you very much.
Tell me about your passion, because I know that you are the director, the president of Latina Fashionista.
Right. Yes. Well, my background is in the fashion industry here in Los Angeles and manufacturing. So actually backing up even further, my grandmother taught me how to sew when I was 7 years old. So ever since then, when I was 7 years old until now, I won't say how old, but I've always loved fashion, sewing, creating art myself. And after I graduated from high school, I went to one of the community colleges here in Los Angeles to study and learn fashion design. I started working in the fashion industry as a design assistant, moved on up into being into production, different areas, working with the textile mills, the sewing contractors, the staff who are cutting the material, the sales representatives all over the United States. So my first job in the industry, like I said, was in a design assistant, which was because it was a smaller company, and I was able to see from the very beginning, working closely with the fashion designer, how she would design something, create it, make changes on the garment, and then put it into production. And then from the end result of sending it out the door to different stores all over the United States. So that first job was excellent. Moving on into other jobs in the industry, I was able to, like I said, work in production closely with the whole manufacturing. And I wanted to go back to school, back to school to get my bachelor's degree in art. So I went to one of the Cal State Angeles here, and I wanted to be an artist, still incorporate art in my own fashions. Got my degree, still worked in the industry, and then the industry was changing, and this was about in the 90s, late 90s, 2000s, where a lot of offshore production was being done. So my last job in the industry, I wanted to take a step back and find out what's going on in this industry, because I noticed that there were some things that, as being a production manager, that I didn't see was fair with people who were like me, who were Hispanic, maybe women, not only Hispanic, but minorities. So I wanted to take a step back, go back to school, and do research industry here in Los Angeles. So I went to Cal Poly Pomona to get my MBA degree there in operations management. And I chose that college. They also had a fashion program. So I was able to combine those two together. Did research on the industry. What do managers or owners of companies, what do they look for when they're promoting staff into management positions? Is English an important skill? Is degree an important skill in our fashion industry? Before it wasn't, now it's becoming more important. I had the opportunity to go to Russia and work for a company there through one of my business professors' contact there. Went to Russia, worked for a lingerie company as a consultant for about a month, and noticed that the working conditions were very much like Los Angeles. Here in Russia, in a town in Rostov-on-Don, Russia, their manufacturing environment, like I said, it wasn't the best. And I was saying, how can Los Angeles, have similar conditions? And again, it was a concern for me and the people working in that industry. So I came back, thought, how can I give my information of experience, of education, of knowledge in this industry that I'm so passionate about to other people? That, coupled with reading in the newspapers about the high dropout rate amongst Latino students here in Los Angeles, I thought, well, maybe if I can provide my passion, my excitement for the industry and education, and hopefully maybe lead students into college through their interest in fashion, maybe that will increase the amount of students, Latinos, and specifically Latinas, to get a degree, a higher degree, and to work in the industry, but to maybe strive for those management and ownership positions. So that's a little bit of how it came about, and yeah.
But it's because you just won an award. So tell me about this. Your organization, is a non-profit organization. How successful has been, but also this important award.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Latina Fashionista. I'm the founder of the organization. So that started close to 6 years ago. And that has been a lot of work and a lot of challenges, as far as funding and getting the word out, connecting with middle school and high school counselors, teachers, principals, public libraries, and getting the word out of our services that we provide. We provide a presentation. We give information about the colleges here in Los Angeles County that have a fashion program. There's 17 of them. Not everybody knows about the fashion industry and the colleges, so we let them know the colleges, careers in the industry, and talk about real resources that are used. So that has been, for 6 years, we have gone to, like I said, schools. We have an annual conference, and this is all volunteer, of course, on my part, because I do have a full-time position, but I also work full-time on my nonprofit. Here in Los Angeles, Assembly Speaker John Perez had an open call for nominations for a Women of Action Award. Is their 4th year of recognizing women who volunteer, women of excellence, So that came about. My father and I collaborated actually on nominating the nomination, and I was chosen as a recipient. So that was very exciting. That was last Saturday that the event took place. I took my father, who was, of course, very proud. And he was actually my role model for practically my whole life, since my mother died when I was 13. So he has always been my mother and father, and he has always been supportive of me no matter what I do. So I was proud to have him there.
Bueno, we're so proud, but I'm so proud to see a father that he was a single parent and he was able to create, to educate you and understand, not only to improve yourself, your skills, but also to give back to the community. But tell me about the Latinas in high school, how they received the Latino fashionista, how they like it. Tell me about that feedback.
Yes, the Latinas that I meet in high school, whether they're in middle school or high school, and even their parents, they, I feel they're very touched and they're very happy and proud that they see a Latina who is outreaching to them, parents for one, saying, I don't know any Latinas who are doing this or who are in the fashion industry at this, particular, giving out these services. So they're proud. But the young people that I meet, I think it just gives them a little bit of, hope that they can do it. I'm a cheerleader for them, as well as my other, friends and supporters who work in the industry. So they're there to get inspiration. And like I said, when I have an annual conference every November, where I do have a panel of Latinas who are in the fashion and beauty industry, and they talk about their challenges, their successes as well. So they are able to relate to students very good, excellently. So the Latinas, again, they're excited. They keep in contact with me once they graduate from high school, if they're in high school. they may send me an email. Oh, I'm thinking of going to this college. What do you think? I'm thinking of it's this college is rather expensive. Are there scholarships? What kind of career do you recommend? So right away they gain someone who is responsive to their questions and their interest. And I'm passionate as well as like I said, my supporters. So if there's anything we can do to get them inspired, leading them again to higher education, whether it's a community college or the Cal State or a private college, to accomplish their goal. And we kind of set the bar. I set the bar a little high for them. I tell them, okay, well, let's try finish going to maybe a community college, but think about going and getting your bachelor's degree, because that only helps in anything you do. So the young Latinas are extremely happy. A lot of teachers that I meet are happy to see that there is an organization actually just for them. I mean, of course, it's open for everybody, but that we're specifically focusing on connecting Latinas, fashion, and education.
But do you think about, do you dream to have your own, design line?
Oh, yes, always. I have many years of experience in the industry. I'm passionate about education, but yet, I still strive for my personal development and my personal goals to have my own line of clothing. Like I tell a lot of young people, I went to school with the idea of becoming a fashion designer, which I was in my own sense, never for a big company, but for in my own personal goal. And I have never lost that dream, and I continue to this day to make that a definite goal in my life. So whether it happens in, a couple of years or 5 years, it will happen.
I think so. Roseanna, do you like to share another message to conclude this interview?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Just follow your dream. If your dream is to work in the fashion industry, like my dream when I was 7 years old, learning about sewing and stuff, and up to today, I still want to continue be a fashion designer, own my own line of clothing. So follow your dream. Find someone who works in the industry, who can help you, guide you, be your cheerleader. Continue higher education. 4-year degree never hurts anybody, and it's doable. Work and going to school is very doable. It's a lot of work, but after that, it's a huge accomplishment, and it's something that you own yourself. So.
Roseanna, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you very much.